Hello, happy Tuesday, friends. Welcome to my stamping show. My name is Genevieve Coe, and I'm an independent demonstrator here in Markham, Ontario, Canada. And for quite a while now, I have been trying to do videos each week, 9 a.m. Eastern. So don't be shy to hop in. Even if you're watching live or watching the replay, I love to read your comments. So say hello, let me know you're here and watching. So I'm laughing because I sent out an email to my email newsletter list. If you get my emails, make sure to read them. Sometimes there's little tidbits of information, but I was laughing because I started it by saying, oh, a gray and dreary day. But I realized it's because I'm sitting in my basement. And so from that tiny window, everything looks gray and dreary. I went upstairs to take my shower and everything, and it was like super sunny. So I'm sorry if I confused any of you about my weather situation, but that's the thing. In this basement, sometimes it feels gray and dreary. So that's why I love to craft down here, play with color. It just brightens up everything. So welcome, welcome. So many things to share with you. Happy Tuesday. It's a big day today. Some new products have been released. So if you want to check out where the new products are, go check them out. I have a new host code for the month if you want to take advantage of shopping and getting a free class in the mail. So let me show you where you can kind of see the new products. Let me see if I can pull it up on my computer and share the screen. You're going to love these new products. I think it's amazing that Stampin' Up! Has been, because it used to be we only kind of got new products when a new catalog came, but it takes a long time to produce a catalog. So now they have this sort of online exclusive section where you can see what's new and happening. So let me share my screen with you. And I think you'll be able to see it, hopefully. So if you go to stampinup.ca, just make sure that it says my name at the top. If it doesn't, you can click it and search for me. You want to make sure you're shopping with me. And then the newest products can be found under, I think it's what's new, or you can go to actually menu and click online exclusives. Okay, so a whole bunch of new things have arrived in the online exclusives. So the Happy Little Things bundle, which is, I didn't buy that one, but it's just got different kind of sentiments in there. And you can also get some coordinating dies as well. Okay, how do I go back? But the one I want to show you that's my favorite, it's probably already starting to sell out, but it is for those of you who have pets, there's a whole Pets and More stamp set there. Some new glimmer paper. Oh, I should show you the glimmer paper. Okay, it is here. Okay, first thing I want to say is I've had people not buy things because the suite is sold out. So here's the Flowering Zinnia suite. The whole suite is not sold out. It's actually just these gems are sold out, these little sequiny things. So don't panic. It doesn't, I mean, the best part, I think, of this suite is the stamp set and the paper. So you can absolutely still purchase those things. You just kind of scroll down, or you can search in the search box. See the Simply Zinnia bundle? There it is. Okay, so it's still available. Let me show you. I'm not going to focus too much on it because I think I might do a future Tuesday morning video series on that. But the other one that makes me happy is the Little Latte Suite collection. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to show you the papers, because the papers are to die for. Okay, anyway, so that's where you find the new stuff. And as usual, things are kind of while supplies last, or, they may restock depending, but let me add my little tabletop here. Okay, so let me show you that zinnia paper. It is way more gorgeous in real life. I don't know if you can see how beautiful it is. Pull this out. Okay, so that you can kind of see front and back. This is an awesome design because you can just easily cut this up, put a sentiment at the top, and you can make like 4-8 cards kind of thing really easily. So I just think it's like bright, cheerful floral designs, and the other side has more of a subdued pattern there. Sorry about the shadow. Okay, so this one always reminds me of Jack and the Beanstalk. But so many fun patterns, so many fun things. Look at this one on the back side. Okay, so that's gorgeous paper. Now let me show you the Love a Latte, Little Latte. I'm not sure, I can't remember the name right now, but let me show you that one. So who are my coffee lovers out there? Go ahead and tell me in the comments if you're a coffee lover or just a hot beverage lover, right? Because these could totally be like fancy hot chocolates. Yeah, I'll show you, right? It could be fancy hot chocolates, fancy lattes, right? So fun, this paper. You can tell I've been using it and cutting it up and playing with it. We had our Team Stick Stamp Camp. Look at that marbly effect. We had our Team Stick Stamp Camp. So the Stamp Camp is a place where we get to play with brand new product. We make 10 cards. And it's open to anyone on my Team Stick Stampers. So it's kind of an exclusive experience, and it's fun for us to get together. There's the back side of it so you can see. Okay, so let me show you a couple of the cards that we made in the Stamp Camp. So if you have ever thought about wanting to get a discount on your stamping supplies, or maybe you've thought about wanting to be part of a cool community, crafty community, where no one looks at you weird when you talk about how much you love paper, then think about joining my Team Stick Stampers. It's easy to join. You can find the link in just my link tree. linktr.ee/stampin' for fun. And you can use that link to join, shop. It's kind of an all-in-one link. You can find my upcoming class registration. So take a look at that and you can find everything you need. Okay, so let me show you a couple of samples using that, oh gosh, what is it called again? Little Latte. Little Latte. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I should not be bending over to pick things up from the floor. My chair almost rolled away. I almost fell down. Okay, danger, danger. Okay, so these were actually made by, oops. These were actually made by one of the Team Stick girls, Wendy. So our Team Stick thing is fun because everybody helps out. Either helping design, cut. We've got stamping demonstrations. Oh, Veda on our team shared like this very cool pop-up fancy fold thing. I might have to try making that card for someone really special. Okay. And then here's a couple other samples. Oh, I lost the gem. There are these like delicious new gems that are available. I don't know if you can see them, but they have like little swirls in them. They actually kind of look like candy. Anyway, so it's fun to play around with some of that new product. Okay, so that's the news. Every Tuesday, I not only share a stamping project with you, I usually share news. So that was kind of the big news for today, is that there's brand new product for you to enjoy. And the other news is that it's time to, well, really the deadline was March 1st, but I'm still running a bit behind. But it's like last call, doors are closing for my Lunch, Laugh, and Craft for March and my Creating for Christ. So you can find all that information at my link tree. Just check it out. For the Creating for Lunch, Laugh, and Craft, you have to come in person to Markham to come and make cards and enjoy lunch together. And the Creating for Christ, you can come in person in Markham for the experience, or you can choose the Take It to Go option. So if you live long distance, or if the date of March 23rd doesn't work for you, I kind of have a system. I've been doing Creating for Christ for a few years now. The Take It to Go version, I basically send an email that includes links sequential kind of links to walk you through the meaningful kind of experience and process that we go through. So it's a very different and unique kind of class. But of course, we're going to be making meaningful projects as well. So you don't want to miss that. Doors are closing because I have to order everything and get it all cut and prepared. Okay, so that is the news. I don't know if there's any other news to tell you, but if I think about it, I'll let you know. But why don't we dive into our project today? So our new product of the month. Oh my gosh, I don't even have it here. Maybe I can turn my camera over. Let me see. Does that work? Okay, hang on. So I'll turn my camera like this, and then maybe we'll just, okay. So the product of the month, can you guess what it is by looking at what I'm showing there with my camera? It's not ink pads. Some of you, are some of you going to guess the storage unit? I think everyone should have the storage unit, but that's not what it is. It's actually the Stamp and Write markers. Okay, so let me see if I can, here, I'll move this so you don't get dizzy. I'll put this back. Because I think ever since the blends came out, I think, oh, okay, hopefully this is in okay. Ever since the blends came out, the blends markers, I've been using them so much to color. I'm sure you've seen it many times. But I was like, you know what? The Stamp and Write markers, they are not the same, but they have their own benefits. So all this month, I'll be sharing about the Stamp and Write markers. I'll be doing projects using those markers, and I'm pretty sure you're going to learn some new things. So let's get started. Let me put this here. Okay. Oh, this looks a little crooked now after I moved it. Okay. How's that? Okay, so let's get started. So we'll be using all different stamp sets all month, but the common theme all month long will be the Stamp and Write markers. So let's talk a little bit about the Stamp and Write markers. Let me grab one here. This is our Calypso Coral, but you can, the only one that you can buy individually if you just want to try one marker is the basic black. Okay, all the rest are sold in families, which makes it kind of more fun because what good is one color? So let me just show you an example of a family. This would be the family of Subtles markers here. Okay, so I think you get 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you get 10 markers in a package. They come in a box. Okay, and so these are wonderful because they have 2 tips. So there is a brush tip. Can you see that there? And then there is a bullet tip. Okay, so some of you may have Stamp and Write markers from days past. They have changed the fine tip. So just this past year in 2023, they changed this fine tip. So it is so much nicer because we used to have a little bit of a problem with the old configuration where the fine tip, it just felt like it dried out too fast or something. Or it was just too fine. So now they've changed to more of a bullet tip, and it is great. So let's take our Lost Lagoon. Maybe it'll be a little different. So you can absolutely use these markers just to write messages in your cards, because how special is that to be able to write a message in your card that's the same color as the theme of color that you're using on the card. So again, color coordination is huge. And look at how crisp and clean it is. The other thing you need to know about these markers is just like the blends markers, they should be stored horizontally. So you don't want to store them in a cup or a container this way because all the ink will kind of fall into one direction. Okay, so you want to store them horizontally. Okay. The other thing you need to know is that they are water-based. Okay, so the benefit of that you'll see I'm going to do it in our project today, but when you use them, it doesn't bleed to the other side. It's just like regular water-based ink. Whereas our um, blends markers, okay, they are great for coloring, but when you use them, okay, you will much more see how it bleeds through to the other side. Okay, so whereas the Stampin' Write markers don't have that same, it doesn't bleed through as much. The other thing, though, is that the Stampin' Write markers, when you color with them, because they're water-based, you can see more of a streaky effect, which is totally fine if that's the look you're going for. But sometimes if you're doing small areas, and you'll see that on a project this month, that it doesn't really matter. So I think it's pretty cost effective to get the Stampin' Write as well. Like they both have their place, the blends markers and the Stampin' Write. There's certain techniques that you can only do with the Stampin' Write. So, I mean, for me, I even like to write on my glass mat if I'm writing certain measurements. Because it's water-based, you can easily just wipe it off with the chamois. Okay, so really easy. With the alcohol-based blends markers, I don't think you can do that because it's meant to be a little more, it's alcohol-based, it's meant to be a little more permanent there. Okay, so let me show you some techniques. We're going to do a technique today. I probably shouldn't have used that piece of paper, but that's okay. Let's get started. So we'll grab our basic white regular cardstock. I am going to cut it at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Okay. Four inches by 5 1/4 inches. Sorry, 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. Yep, that. Okay, and then we'll need our card base, and I'm going to use balmy blue. So you can tell I'm moving into the spring colors here. My heart is getting happy. How are you guys feeling with the approaching of spring? Next week, I'm going to be leaving for Houston for work, actually. So I'm really hoping there'll be warmer weather there and I can get some vitamin D and some sunshine and my bones won't feel so cold. Like sometimes I am just so cold. I run cold normally, but do you ever have those feelings some days where you just can't get warmed up? That's me. That's me. So I'm looking forward to hopefully some warmth when I'm in Houston next week. Those of you who are demonstrators watching, how many of you are going to Houston? It's our annual on-stage convention, but this year it's different because we're doing 3 locations: Houston, Rotterdam, and Melbourne. But I'll be working in Houston, so hopefully I know I'll get to see lots of people. Okay, so we've got our piece of paper here, 4 inch by 5 1/4. I'm going to show you a fun technique using our Stampin' Write markers and clear blocks. Some of you who have been around may have seen this technique, but it's always fun to revisit them because we can make different projects all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Highland Heather Stampin' Write marker, and I am actually going to color on the block. I know, don't die 1,000 deaths. It's totally crazy, wild, and weird that I'm doing this, but it's kind of fun. And you could not do this with our blends markers because I'd never be able to wash it off. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll go with the color of cardstock we have. So we'll use the balmy blue. When you're looking at the Stampin' Write markers, the thick line shows that it's the brush tip. The thin line is the bullet tip. Okay, so I'm going to just color with the brush tip. Okay, and then I should actually be moving a little faster. And then Calypso Coral. Okay, so hopefully this works out. Sometimes this technique, it's a little bit of trial and error. Okay, So I have colored my block, and then I'm going to take my little water spritzer. I don't use these too often, but I always have a set because you never know. And then I am going to spritz. Okay. So it gives a um, very fine spritzing effect. And then I'm going to take my paper and I am going to stamp on it. I know this is totally crazy. Okay, so I am stamping with a block that I've colored my block with the Stampin' Right markers. Okay, so maybe I should have used more water. We'll see. That's why I should have moved fast, because otherwise the ink just dries on the block and then it doesn't transfer onto the paper. But let's see what we got there. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so it kind of creates a fun, eclectic background image. Everyone is a bit different. And then we'll just use our chamois to clean this off here. Okay, and then our block is as good as new. Okay, so that's why this is not a technique that you can do with blends markers. It's only a technique that you can do with Stampin' Right. And so I just used regular white paper, but you could use our heavy watercolor paper as well. Let me just air dry here. I'm just using my heat gun on setting 1, and it just helps dry it a little bit. How fun. How fun. Okay, so before we stick that down, I am going to use some of this ribbon trio here in the bubble bath color. This is a really easy card, so we'll be done in a second. Oh, actually, before I do that, I am going to take this Easter Bunny stamp set, which has a coordinating punch. The question is, where is the punch? I should look for everything before I start, right? Here it is. Okay, so this is the time of year. Easter is early this year. It's like the end of March. So it's time to get going on those Easter cards. If you've made one, make sure to share it in my Facebook group, because we love to see what you're creating. But here we go. So I think I'm just going to take the Happy Easter sentiment. But there's a few different sentiments in this set. But I'm going to just take the Happy Easter, pop it on our block here. So everything you see me using, you can purchase from my online store. The link is in the description, or you can just message me if you need a little help. I actually consider myself, I don't know what the word is. Like, I'm here to help, basically. Okay, so don't feel like you can only shop by going to the online store. You can certainly reach out to me. I'm happy to chat with you, and I'm happy to help you figure out what's the best use of your budget for kind of maximizing what you need. I'm going to use a neutral color called Pebbled Path. It's one of our in colors. I didn't want to go with black because I thought that was like too dark when I'm going with these like subtle springy kind of colors. So I thought Pebbled Path would be kind of nice. It's more like a grayish kind of color. It's not really black. Okay. It's like a charcoal kind of color. Okay, so we've got that, and then we'll put our ribbon across. And we'll tape this at the back. Oops. Tape it on this side. Okay. And then we will mount it onto our cardstock base. Before I do that, I feel like I want to soften up the little edges a bit. So I put a bit of adhesive on the back, so I don't want it to stick on my mat. So I'll just use my silicone mat and a little bit of balmy blue ink. And I'm just going to add a little, like soften up the edges, right, with some color here. So as I do that, I just want to remind you that if you do choose to shop with me on my online store, then go ahead and do that. When your order is $60 or more, you automatically qualify for my monthly gift, which is a class in the mail. So some of you are already getting the card pieces and the ribbon and that sort of thing in the mail as a thank you for your online order last month. If your online order last month was $60 or more, you're going to be getting all the cards that I'm going to be showing in my live video this month. So it's great. I'm not as behind as last month, so they're actually all cut sitting on my table. I just have to stuff them into envelopes and get them out in the post to you. So thank you to those of you who shopped with me last month. And yeah, go ahead. That's an excuse to shop with me this month with our new online exclusives items. And if you need some embellishments and things like that to get ready for Easter, then you can absolutely take advantage and at the same time earn that free gift from me, that class in the mail. Okay, so I just softened up the edges a bit. Can you see how I just added little shadows of the balmy blue around? Now we're just gonna adhere it to our card base that I had cut earlier. Okay, and then we'll just finish off our card by using a bit of bubble bath. Come on, guys. Pink is my favorite. You know I had to use it, especially for an Easter card. And then I'm going to take the little bunny that coordinates with the punch. He's a little cutie pie here. You can see him here. I always think with these little critters, we have to give them names. So go ahead and tell me in the comments what name you'd like to name him. What does he look like to you? Maybe it's a she, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at it. I feel like it's a she. So I'm going to use the pebbled path again just to have the colors coordinate. Maybe it's a she. Sheila. I don't know. Sheila the rabbit? Sheila the bunny? Beatrice the bunny? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. I can't read. Let me see what you think. Okay. Here we go. There we go. See how the punch matches exactly? I just hold the punch upside down so I can see where I've stamped, match it up, and pop it out. Ta-da! This was a very hot item last year. It was like sold out so quick last year. So it is in stock right now. I saw some of you ordered it at the end of celebration, so it's good that you're getting it while it's available. But what a cute little punch that you can use for Easter. I feel like you could use it for baby cards as well. You don't have to only use it for Easter. And then, oops, I am right out of dimensionals here. I think we'll still do it. I like to even use the edges of my dimensionals so that it is completely used up, maximized every piece of my little dimensional sheet. That is, and then we'll just tie a little knot over here. So I just took an extra piece of that ribbon. I can't remember what that ribbon's called, but it comes in a package of 3. It comes in Afternoon Azure, Lemon Lolly, and then the Bubble Bath. So you get all 3 colors in one shot, and it's perfect for spring. So there we go. This is our first feature project using our feature product, the Stampin' Write markers. Okay, I hope you like this card, and you're going to want to make sure to come back next week to see what I create using the lovely Stampin' Write markers. Okay, I feel like they've been a little neglected since the blends came out, but they have their place. I still use them. I'm so glad I have all the colors, so then that way I can always coordinate with whatever I want. So thanks for joining me today. It was really great to chat with you. Keep dropping those comments in, even if you're watching later on the replay. I love to connect with you, and I love to just share my happy stamping inspiration with you. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.